Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I appreciate you being here. Today we're going to talk about something really fun that I got to do. I went to a Parfums de Marly Masterclass. This was something that was held at our local Dillard's. We don't live in a very big city, it's like 500,000, so we don't have a Nordstrom or a Saks or a Neiman's here. We just have Dillard's and Von Maur. But I was really excited to hear about this. One of the sales associates at Dillard's told me about it and gave me her card, which was a smart move, and I texted her and asked if I could sign up for it. They had someone come in from Dallas. I think he's a Parfums de Marly representative. He did a really great job. I believe his name was Marlon, but I'm not 100% sure. I'll put it on the screen if I find out that information. Anyway, the class was really fun. I enjoyed it so much. There were only like 7 or 8 people there, but he had another class after ours, which was probably fuller than the first one, which was in the afternoon. We got to test all of the Parfums de Marly fragrances on cards, and what he had done was when he got into town the day before, he sprayed all the cards that like night, like at 4 in the afternoon, and our class was at 3 the next day. So these had settled and dried down, so we got to get the dry down of all of these fragrances. And after the class was over, of course, we got to sample what we wanted to on our skin. The reason I wanted to go to this was to learn more about this house, Parfums de Marly, because I had never been super into any of their fragrances, and I wondered if I just hadn't, played around with the right fragrances for me. So I wanted to be able to like try almost all of them and get my nose on them, and this was a great way to do it and learn more intensely about them rather than just going to Dillard's and spraying them and having someone kind of rush you through the process, and then you have these cards and you don't know what they are unless you write the name on it. So I like to be able to sit there, smell it, write the name on the card, go back to it, an hour later and smell it again. So that's my perfect sampling experience right there. And this was it. And he was very informative. He said he loved to share notes if we wanted that, but he wasn't going to share the notes of everything, of all the notes of everything, because it would take forever, because there were like, 25 to get through or so. But we started with the female marketed fragrances, and we started with Delina la Rosee. So that was fun to smell that. And also he prefaced everything by explaining the origin of the house. And I don't really remember all of that, but I know that a lot of these are named after the owner or the founder's racehorses, and a lot of it is based on the monarchy of France, I guess. So some of them are named after queens or madames or things like that. So it was really interesting, and this guy was very knowledgeable. He knew a lot. You could tell the knowledge went a lot deeper than we got into, and not a lot of people there were asking questions. I was probably the one that asked the most questions. So we got to sample all the Delinas, and that was fun because the only one I've ever ordered a physical sample of was Delina Exclusive, and that was such a little sample. I don't think I got a fair shake at really trying it. So they're actually really beautiful, and this is now 2 days old, and I can still smell Delina on this, and a little bit of Delina la Rosee. But that is one of the ones that I had them spray on my arm, or that I sprayed on my arm after the class was over, just to see how it reacted with my chemistry, because I'd never done that before. And it was very pretty. And the hair spritz, I will say, I really liked the hair mist. I think that's like $90, so it's a pretty good value, and you can wear it all over your body if you want as a fragrance. So the Delina hair mist I did really like. And it's such a pretty rose scent. I mean, it's not like your typical rose, I feel like. So even for me, who's not a huge rose fan. Some of the other standouts from the female side for me were, let's see, Delina Exclusive was probably my favorite of the 3 Delinas. That's the one I would consider buying a small decant of, probably not a full bottle. I don't even know what that costs now, like on the gray market, but I'd be okay with starting with like an 8 or 10 milliliter bottle of Delina Exclusive, because it's quite strong. You don't need a lot of that, and it's so beautiful. Or like I said, the hair mist is really nice. I could see getting that. I had never smelled Safenade, so that was interesting to smell. And he gave us a great visual experience for that. He told us all to close our eyes and imagine we were on a beach with some sort of breeze, and I can't remember the whole vision that he gave us, but it was quite good. And then he shared personal stories of wearing these fragrances and how people reacted to him. And he said, I think he said he wore this in Jamaica, Safenade. It was just, and he got lots of compliments. So Safenade, they say, is hypnotic, solar, and exquisite. So it gives me a new respect for this, even though it has some orange blossom, which I'm not usually a fan of. So that's Safenade, and that was fun to sample. I mean, not one that I would really wear, but it's always fun to sample them. Oh, and Palatine, which is fairly new. That's that purple one. They say that's daring, confident, and captivating. Named after Madame Palatine. I can't remember what she's famous for, but this one is really wearable. It reminded me of a designer fragrance, but I couldn't place what it would be. If I looked up on Fragrantica, I'm sure it would say somewhere, but this is one I could see owning as well as Delina exclusive. I really like Palatine. It's just really wearable. And also, we'll mention at the end of the class, he did some mixing on these scent strips. So he would spray like 2 fragrances on the scent strip and say, smell this and see what you think of that. And he sprayed Delina and Palatine together, and it was really good. So the mixing was really fun at the end when he handed out cards and said, you might like this together, and he would mix like one from the male side, one from the female side, and it would be so like mysterious and new and something that nobody else, has ever worn. Here is the Delina and Palatine strip. Let's see if I can still smell this. I mean, all these strips together just smell amazing. Oh, and another important fact about this house is that they use naturals as much as they can. So I think Valaya has the most synthetic notes of them all. And that's why Valaya lasts a really long time. But all in all, they try to use as many naturals as they can, and that's probably why a lot of people are drawn to this house, because they smell so good. And he said the perfumer or the owner, whoever it is, someone big in charge, their motto is they care about the dry down. So they really don't care about the opening at all. Like if you just get through the opening, the first 15 minutes of something, maybe you might not like it so much, but then what they really want to focus on is the dry down, because that's what you live with the rest of the day, like the hours of your life instead of the minutes. So as people sample these, it's important to know that they need to walk around the mall or wherever they are for 45 minutes to really get the full experience. So let's see, what are some other standouts? Valaya exclusive, I tried that a few weeks ago and I still didn't like it. I don't really like Valaya. That's not for me, but Valaya exclusive is better to me than Valaya. And Meliora was fun to try. That smelled like strawberries and raspberries to me in fairy dust. It's feminine, delicate, and blooming, it says. So it was fun to try. And yeah, those are about all of the female ones. Now, when we got into the male, and I did forget to bring down, I have this little samples that he gave us all. They were the masculine target. The reason that he was there was to talk about the new one, which is Castle. And that one is spicy, bold, fresh. It's kind of, I would say it's kind of like an understated spicy. It's really nice, but I think it's a little bit unisex. Like I tried the sample this morning. I think I can still smell it on my arm because I did 2 little sprays from the sample. It's very nice. I do like that new one, Castle. What are the other standouts? For me, definitely my favorite from the male targeted was Pegasus. And I had never smelled this before. It is described as vibrant, addictive, and refined, and it has sandalwood, bitter almond, and vanilla. This one I sprayed like 4 or 5 sprays on as I left, to get a sense of whether I wanted, to invest more in that fragrance. I didn't buy any full bottles as we left, but that was probably my number one, even being from the male line. Something about how they do sandalwood is really pretty to me. Very creamy, soft and elegant, not sharp, bitter, pungent. So I really like the sandalwood that Parfums de Marly does. And there was, I think, a little bit of sandalwood in Sedley too, because I have a little sample of that in that 3-pack sample box. And I liked the smell of that. That has spearmint from Oregon in it, I guess, Sedley. So some of the ones from the male line that were standouts were Greenlee, which is in the clear green bottle. I think my husband would love that because it's really fresh, a lot of vetiver. Percival is just one of those that I don't think anyone would dislike. It's very, very universal, very kind of smells a little designer, not in a in a really elevated way. It's very nice. The new one, Perseus, which is the orange one with citrus, with grapefruit and every citrus they could think of, that one was fun to smell and quite unisex. So get your nose on Perseus if you like those kind of fragrance notes. I liked Pegasus better than Pegasus Exclusive. Pegasus Exclusive has leather and oud, and it leans more masculine. So Pegasus beat out Pegasus Exclusive for me. Altera, I have a sample of that, so I'm familiar with it. And let's see, what else? We got to smell Carlisle. We got to smell Leighton, of course. Oh, Haultain. Haultain was really beautiful. It smelled like a forest. And it had, I think, 2 different types of oud, Haultain. So let me see if I can find the card that has, here it is, Haultain with Delina exclusive. Smells amazing. It smells like a forest, roses and vanilla. It's like a deep woody but floral scent. It's, I don't know, something about this blend really caught my attention, and I didn't want to buy a whole bottle of Haultain because it's really quite masculine, but I might have to get just a little decant if I get some Delina exclusive just to wear together, like in the winter. I think it'd be absolutely gorgeous in the way it would cut through like cold air and carry through. A lot of these have amazing sillage. So like I stopped at Whole Foods on my way home after I had sprayed Pegasus on me like 4 or 5 times, and I felt this cloud around me. I mean, nobody told me I smelled good, but I was in and out of there in like 5 or 7 minutes. So just did my business and got out of there. But I enjoyed my sillage a lot. So all in all, I have such a new respect for this house. The way they're done seems so high quality. The naturals, I mean, there are some that just aren't for me, like Oriana is not for me. Of course, a lot of the male line, but I would be delighted to smell them on my husband. Altair, I think, is lovely, but I don't know, on my skin it just gets really cloying. But I think if I spray it on my clothes, it would smell really good. So I do still have that sample. So, oh, Kalan, Kalan, that is the one in the red bottle. That he said it's like a very divided opinion fragrance, and he sprayed it on his hand and let us smell because he had let it settle for like 2 hours. He sprayed it like 2 hours ahead of time so we could smell what it was like in the dry down, because spraying it on paper, he said it's really different. But even this paper, 2 days later, smells really good. So Kalan is one you should pay some attention to, even though a lot of people don't talk about this, or maybe they think it stinks if they spray it right away on paper or maybe right away on skin. You have to give it some time. I think it's really interesting. And I don't have any of the notes in front of me. In fact, that one is not even on the card. I had to add it written in, and I don't know the notes. So I hope that if there's any other master classes like this at Von Maur, Dillard's, or somewhere around me, I hear about it because it was so fun to do. And this just inspired me to get out there and interact with more perfume enthusiasts, because it was so fun to just sit there with the person at my table and talk about things and our opinions and stuff, and just, you know, being able to be around people who have this similar interest as you, who are really into fragrance. Like the guy who was leading the masterclass said he used to be in banking, and this was his hobby, and he had like 300 bottles of cologne. And now, now that he works in the fragrance industry, I think he said he's up to like 780 bottles. So he's obviously very passionate about fragrance. I would have liked to have more time to sit and ask him questions and pick his brain about like some of his favorites and stuff, and some really unique ones that I'm sure he's tried and I haven't, or we haven't. But he was busy with, you know, customers and stuff. So if you ever get the chance, I would highly recommend doing something like this, even if it's a house you don't think you're that interested in, and maybe make a connection with one of the sales associates at your department store. Doesn't matter who it is, just get their number and kind of like make sure you have, you know, a personal connection with them, where if there's something new that comes out, you'll buy from them and support them, and they'll, in return, inform you of fun things like this that are happening. So I hope that was fun and informative for you a little bit. Again, I don't have any full models of this line, but looking into getting some large decants of some of these, because I really enjoyed that. Especially Pegasus Delina exclusive, and I did like Haultain as far as a male fragrance. So take care, guys. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.